Hey traders from all over the world, this is Jeremy Alexander Newsom with Real Life Trading. Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. It is Monday, December the 21st. Hopefully you're enjoying your upcoming week and enjoyed your holidays. The weather's getting colder and more rainy here in Nashville, Tennessee, which I'm excited about. I like all weather, so I'm pretty pumped about that. Let's check out the overall markets today. We had some really good activity and some trading today. Both the morning and the trading room in the afternoon are closed for the next 2 weeks, so I can get some end of the year business stuff done, relax a little bit over the holidays, take some days off. A lot of you, aka the traders out there in the world, are traveling, visiting family. We know that the markets are closed, this week and the next week. So anyway, we took off the last 2 weeks, so we didn't have any official trading today. Volume, as you can see, was pretty low today. But Brad Reed, Johnny Guarco, Justin Linderman, Steven Jackson, Steven Steckler, Maria Colos. I mean, there's a lot of really good trades that were placed in the morning day trading room, afternoon exclusive chat pane room thing that we have for the traders, the group me. And Brad, I think, got like 5.2R or something like that. Anyway, a lot of good trades that were placed in that chat room this morning. But regardless, so the SPY had some really good gaps. Let's talk about what I discussed on the 18th, which was Friday in the afternoon swing trading room. So I mentioned the SPY, even though it's a bearish retest gap today, if Monday gaps down, SPY is very bearish. Now, it did not gap down. That's what I was thinking could happen, but it simply did not. I mentioned that there's going to be a 1% chance of a bear trap over the holidays if it did gap down, right? So that's going to be if it did get down. If it does retest at all, so today would be a retest, right? Black candle gap down, it broke support. Today was in fact a retest. High percentage chance of a bearish rollover. Wait for a new black crow or bearish candle to confirm. Bearish gap or candle. If we close above today's candle, the first quarter of 2016 is going to be even more choppy. So what I mean by that is today we actually are up pretty nicely. We're up 0.8% from Friday's close. So if we have a day that closes above Friday's high, we're going to get even more choppy. So my thought process and what I discussed when the Federal Announcement Reserve that Wednesday was this. I mentioned I'm not going to be bearish unless one thing happens, and this is the one thing that's happening. And what I mentioned is we get this, and I will be bearish only if we just do that immediately. And that's exactly what we did, which is really kind of surprising, honestly. The low of this Monday was 199.95. The close of Friday was 200.02. So we did not close below this low. We did breach the low, and I did have a wager mentioning I was going to donate to a charity if we broke below that low of that candle that week, because I really did not think we did. So I'll be sharing some of that with you this week, more than likely. Or might just be sending that to my traders in the trading room. Because I did make that wager, and I'm a man of my word. I will make that happen. So the SPY, bottom line, it closed pretty much right on that lower wick. That's a pretty strong little bearish signal. And tomorrow, I'm not saying this happens, but if tomorrow we open at like 199.40 or something, we're gone. We're heading to 196. No questions asked, I think. Again, don't really necessarily think that happens, but just a cute little gap down right about here tomorrow, down about 1.5% or so at open. It's going to be a pretty big bearish move. I'm still feeling a bear trap down here, folks, so I'm going to be careful. But again, a little bit of a black candle like this tomorrow that gaps down. So any gap down tomorrow and a continual trade down for the rest of the day. So we gap down and close bearish. That would be a new black crow, as I call it, which is a black candle that opens and closes below the prior day white candle's close. If that happens and we make a lower low, I guess that point on Wednesday, we can hit a little bit lower. So I'm still keeping my eye on a bear trap over the holidays. And what that really means, folks, is we trade down 2 or 3 days, everyone hops on bearish, and then boom, we gap up really big next Monday after the Thursday and Friday market close or early closing that goes on from this week. So it's just something to keep in mind. I'm going to be very cautious over the holidays. I'll say that one more time. I'm going to be very cautious over the holidays because the way the market's been gapping recently, if everyone gets in bearish right here and really it's just some type of big move that just trades back down to this little gap, right? We trade down there and then we gap up really hard and we're back off to the races. That's something that could happen. I'll be cautious. We'll see what goes on. But really, that's my overview of the market. It's going to be all about tomorrow and or Wednesday. Let's see what goes on, and I'll be updating you guys in the middle of the week. Let's check out some general stocks, shall we? Let's look at Apple. So Apple had a really fun day trading opportunity on Apple today. Notice, and I'll just hide some of these lines really quick. Well, I don't know what lines to hide. Give me a moment. I'll delete this one first. So Dean Chance had a December 105 put sale that expired Friday. That did expire worthless. Great job, Dean. And as you all are aware, the 105 price mark is the Jeremy eats a mustard covered apple. I do not want that to happen. I truly don't think it. I didn't think it was going to happen, but man, oh man, we got close today, and we also got close Friday. It probably will happen at this point. Truth be told, but anyway, I'll come in here to a 5-minute chart and just kind of show you guys what I was looking at earlier today. So you have this really, really strong support at 105.90. That's the same support that's been on my chart for really months at this point, and it bounced a little bit off this one yesterday, which would be Friday, and then today, about hour and a half or so after market open, get a cute little double bottom on the 5-minute chart right at that support. Very, very easy. Boom, boom, and just trade right back up to that resistance. It's about an hour and a half or so, which is not fantastic, right? It was no Maria who got 5 R's, but it was an R a day keeps the bill collector at bay kind of thing. And I love trading Apple, as you guys know. It did gap a little bit today, right? It gapped up, filled the gap, came back to support, double bottom, bounced up to that resistance. Anyway, good little day trading opportunity on Apple if you got a chance to kind of play that. So here's the longer term perspective. You do have a little bit of a hammer-esque candle today, a little bit of a lower shadow at that support. So I'm really, really, really hoping that we bounce off of that. This was a stop that we had for a break of this support, which was about 111. Steven Steckler and many other traders had the opportunity of taking that trade bearish, and it did trade in some targets for them, the 108 and the 105 or 106 level. So great job, Mr. Steckler. I think it's time to take that stop off. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I will simply say this is a support for Apple. Will Apple bounce from here? I truly do not know. It did bounce a little bit today, so that's a strong signal. Here's your hourly chart, and your hourly chart is showing some signs of a little bit of a bottoming pattern, maybe an hourly invert head and shoulders or something. So again, 105.90, it is a strong support. Should, might, could, potentially, all those words, could bounce off of the 105.90 mark. 105 is my Newsom eats a mustard covered apple, but not only that, but also there's a lot of other traders in some put sales, bull put spreads, and also maybe this iron condor on Apple that expires in January. So I have a lot of time left, but this is the location that it might bounce. Keep an eye on that hourly chart, and if it bounces here, phenomenal risk reward on ticker symbol AAPL. Let's go look at Mosaic. Mosaic was a bearish trade that we've been keeping an eye on. Also did a Trader Planet write-up on this one, and so far it seems to be working out okay. Here's your support and support, right? Stock broke through support. It was a bearish retest gap. Stock had retested. We limit sold at that resistance, got in bearish, placed our stop above the pivot, and the trade so far is working, like I mentioned, okay. Up about an R on that trade. Volume is coming in. It's making a lower low. You have a bearish rest after battle pattern. Exponential moving averages are still bearish. We already moved 4.56% down today. I don't see anything to change this trade. We'll leave it on the board. And hopefully this week we'll hit 25.87 where we can take our take some target some profits at our target and maybe move the stop down to about $30.59. Another swing trade that we're in is ticker symbol CMI, which is Cummings. This trade's still working. If you're following us in this trade, feel free to move your stop down just a little bit to maybe lock in about an R. Our original stop was here, and we've now moved it twice. First move was to break even, and now we've moved it down to 91.62. Target for all that position is $82.11, which would be great if it could hit there by the end of 2016. Really just kind of my last hoorah swing trade for the year if it can get down there. And that would be great. I mean, that'd be about a 4.5 R trade because right now we're still in all of our positions on Cummings. So we'll find out what happens. FOSL, ticker symbol FOSL, did get triggered into FOSL bearish as of Friday. Had a nice little bearish gap, right? Black candle gapped down, which would be a bearish retest gap. $37.13 was an old support, new resistance, broke through, kind of retesting, and as you all know, if you track the Bollinger Bands, we were in a Bollinger Band squeeze on FOSL, kind of still are, just a little bit, but we have filled, we've retraced, so if FOSL begins to roll over, keep your eyes on this one, because it is a Bollinger Band squeeze, and it appears to be breaking out. The exponential moving averages on the daily chart are kind of tracking in a bearish sense, right? You had a gap action right there, bearish gap, retest, right? It was a retest gap, trade to the moving averages, and appears it might be rolling over. So we got in at 36.02. If you can get in a little bit better, great. You have a little bit better of a risk-reward ratio. There's FOSL. We'll see what it does. I will plan on exiting that trade if it does not work for us in about a week or a week and a half. It should start moving pretty quickly. And if it doesn't, I'll go ahead and start exiting that pretty aggressively overall. Let's check out Disney. Had a huge, absolutely massive Star Wars opening weekend. Billions of dollars in revenue. I mean, just really, really fantastic numbers overall on Disney. My boy Brian Shepard's got a $96 somewhere down here put sale for January. That's a great, great place to own Disney. And I did have this earlier as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type of wave count, but after we broke this low and really broke through this gap, I changed that opinion to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C on Disney. At this point, I just don't know how low it may or may not go. Volume is coming in. It closed below support. All the moving averages are about to cross bearish. We did have a bearish gap right there. It's making lower lows and lower highs. My thought process on Disney is it's either going to bounce immediately or it's going to keep going lower. And if it gaps down tomorrow, again, I don't think the market gaps down. I'm saying if it opens at 105 or lower, Disney's going to continue bearish just a little bit. It's going to need to bounce tomorrow, start making some higher highs or higher lows for this one to have any hope for bounce, in my personal opinion. I think if the A wave was so big, the C wave will be probably about down to here. Everyone starts hopping on bearish at that point, and maybe it can make it down to 94.12. But again, at some point, looking for a little bit of a bounce on Disney. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching this stock review. I really do appreciate it. Hope you had an absolutely fantastic weekend. Hope you got some really special, enchanting, and enriching plans for this week. I'll see you later. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. Obviously, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at any time, post a comment. We answer those pretty regularly. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. We do the whole social media stuff. Hope to see you guys around. Have a great week. I'll see you Wednesday. And until next time, remember, love life, live life, and trade it. See ya.